What's up, guys? This is Manga, and welcome to my 2024 November and December media haul. I'm kind of having to change it from being purely just a manga haul to more of a general media haul because my interests have expanded wildly over the past 12 months. And while I still love collecting manga, and I got some great stuff in here, I've also expanded into comic books, Blu-Rays, and vinyls. That's just been some of the big highlights of the year. In the corner, you can even see one of my big Christmas gifts that I got which was a TV, so I can watch my own Blu-Ray. So it's just been a big change. I also have not been having as much income as I used to have, so the overall there's a lot right here, but a lot of it's also Christmas gift and birthday gifts and just different stuff like that. But got some great stuff here that I want to share with you guys. So I'm going to start off with my Blu-rays, the different Blu-rays that I got. And the first off is I got the Lego Movie, fantastic movie, one of my favorites. I found it on clearance at Half Price Books, so it was an easy pickup. I also found V for Vendetta on clearance at Half Price Books. I have not seen the movie before. I know it's based off of a comic book, and I know some of the vague plot elements about it, but I'm excited to watch it, and then I think I also want to check out the comic at some point. And then earlier in December, we got the first trailer for the James Gunn Superman movie, and so in excitement for that, I picked up the Christopher Reeves Superman, the movie from 1978. This movie, in my opinion, is fantastic. I think Lex Luthor and the villains are definitely the weakest element, and obviously like the whole time travel bit at the end is infamous, but I think overall I really love Christopher Reeves, and just like the first 30 minutes is peak Superman. It's amazing. I picked up Deadpool 2. It was the last of the trilogy that I had not picked up yet, so I went ahead and just picked it up. This next one I found today, and I was so excited to get it. I was so surprised that Walmart had Freerun Beyond Journey's End Season 1, Part 1 on Blu-ray, and it's Blu-ray and DVD. This is one of my favorite anime of the entire year. I know Dan to Dan, and I know Kaiju Number 8, and I know Elusive Samurai were all major hits this year, but this was the biggest hit of 2023. Sorry, I forgot what year it came out, but it's fantastic getting this on Blu-ray, and I'm so excited to get Part 2 whenever that eventually comes out. And then for Christmas, my parents got me one of my favorite movies, and the first rated R movie I got to see in theaters, and that was 1917. It's a fantastic war movie. It's filmed to look like it's all in one take. It's just a fantastic movie by Sam Mendes, and definitely worth checking out if you enjoy war movies at all. And last off was a gift from my brother. I already have this movie, but it was in a steelbook, which I don't normally have, and that is Spirited Away. This is my first steelbook ever, and even though I already have it on regular Blu-ray, I'm still going to keep it just for the fact that it's on steelbook. Next up are 4 vinyls that I picked up got as gifts during December, and that is The Carpenters, which I don't know what the specific name of this album is, but found this at a local vinyl record store, and I thought I like one of the songs on this album, and I decided it was $10, so I decided to pick it up. Riot from Paramore. I don't know which side to hold it up, but this is a great album. I really enjoy it. So yeah. Boston by Boston, another good album. And then American Idiot by Green Day, which has been one of my favorite bands so far this year. Now for one of the big things that you guys have originally subscribed to me for or watch me for, and that is manga, and I got Noragami Volume 27. It is the final volume of this fantastic series. I've described it as Percy Jackson and meets Shinto, which is one of the prominent Japanese religions. Fantastic series, beautiful artwork, highly recommend it. Next up is Heavenly Delusion Volume 7. So one more down, and it'll be quite a while before we get Volume 8, but I don't mind. I love Denpa's quality, and I don't mind waiting 4 to 5 months to get another volume because just of how good quality these volumes are. Now, opposite of Denpa's long wait times between volumes, I got Blue Lock Volume 16, and this series was announced that in 2025 there will be a new volume every month, just so that Kodansha can get caught up in English to the Japanese release, which I think is already around volume 30, so we're like halfway behind this series. So I'm excited to continue reading this fantastic sports manga. Next up is Initial D Volume 4. I'm still working my way through this volume. I love Initial D. I've loved watching the anime. I watched it summer of 23, I think, and it was just fantastic. And I'm so excited to finally have this series in English that's not like $500 for the whole series. I'd rather not pay secondhand. Plus, hopefully this will finish, which the original didn't. So, yeah, pretty cool. Next up is another Denpa series that I'm excited to have another volume of, and that is March Comes In Like a Lion, Volume 3. I found this randomly at my half-price books. I didn't even know it dropped, and with this series, and same with Heavenly Delusion, if you see this series, you gotta pick it up. It's not always that easy to find, and when you do, you just gotta pick it up because you're probably not gonna see it again for a long time. And then last up, this is kind of a bridge between the next part of the haul and the end of this part of the haul, and that is X-Men, the manga. This pretty much adapts the first season of X-Men the animated series from the 90s. It's a 2-volume set, and it's just fantastic. Each chapter is done by like a different artist. So sometimes the art's kind of iffy, but then sometimes it's just brilliant. It's fantastic. Yeah, it just adapts season 1 of X-Men the animated series. So if you've watched season 1, you know what's going to happen. But I think this is just a fantastic thing to have if you enjoy the X-Men and if you enjoy just manga in general. Thank you for sticking around to the last part of the haul. This is the majority of it, actually. I've really been enjoying comics, so you'll get to see some of the stuff that I've been really loving over these past 2 months. It's a whole new world that's been opened up for stories, and I'm just really excited to get to read them. So first up is Invincible Volume 6. This covers most of where Season 2 kind of ended off. Fantastic. Yeah, I've really been enjoying reading Invincible for the first time. Next up is a comic that I found at Half Price Books. I really have been interested in reading more about these characters, which is why I picked it up. It's not the greatest story of all time, but it's good enough. And that is Blue and Gold, which contains Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, both of whom I've been really interested in wanting to read more of. And this was $10, so pretty good find, I think. Next up is a comic that will be adapted into a movie in 2026, and that is Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which follows Supergirl and her kind of adventures among the stars. This was a fantastic book, and I'm excited to see it in live action. Next up is Superman Red Sun. I found this at Half Price Books, and I have heard of the story, and I know the general premise. Hadn't read it until I finally picked it up. Next up is a very untraditional X-Men book that is the Ultimate Universe, Ultimate X-Men. I personally really enjoy it. If you like manga and you haven't really read any comics, this might be a good place to start. It has a lot of very anime manga-esque, and it's set in Japan. It has a lot of similar themes to other manga, like school life, bullying, different stuff like that. I personally think it's really good. I know a lot of people who are fans of X-Men aren't necessarily the biggest fans of it because it's not a traditional X-Men book, but I think it's pretty good. Next up is another thing that I picked up because of Superman, the movie that's coming out in 2025 next year, and that is Superman for All Seasons by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. This story is really fun. It's pretty much like Superman Year One, so I think it's definitely worth reading. Now, where Superman for All Seasons is very down to earth, this next series is really, it's insane, and that is Crisis on Infinite Earths. This is a crazy book to read, and especially if you are not super familiar with a lot of DC characters, which I know of a lot of characters, but I don't know a lot of details about a lot of these characters. So and this was a bit of a slog to read, but also really enjoyable as well, and how it kind of reshaped DC and also comic book crossovers, and also even like major comic book movies and stuff. Like a lot of what's happened in the MCU movies and what's coming forward in MCU movies would have even happened if not for Crisis on Infinite Earths and how that impacted comic books. Next up is a bunch of comics from the same universe, and that is from Skybound's Energon universe. So I got Transformers Volume 2, Duke, Cobra Commander, and Scarlet. I've been really getting into a lot of the Energon universe. I hadn't read, or I don't know much about G.I. Joe going into it, but I love Transformers, which is why I started the universe in general. And this is some of the best stuff in comic books going on right now. And last up is something that I saw in a comic book store, or it was Movie Trading Company actually, and I saw it and I just had to pick it up, and it was this 30th anniversary edition of Death of Superman. You can kind of see where a lot of my focus has been very Superman focused. This is a really cool edition. The just blank page with the red Superman logo just really like stood out to me at the store, and I was like, I had to pick it up, and it was only $20, which is like half off. So it was definitely worth it to me to pick up. Hey guys, thank you for watching. I know it's been a while since I made videos and all that different stuff. I'm really wanting to make more. I just haven't really found the time or whatever. And like I kind of did with this video, I want to do more of the stuff that I've been interested in, not just manga. And so I hope that I'll be able to make more content because of that. And so I want to make a video talking about the series that I finished in 2024 and stuff that I'm excited to read or watch or whatever in 2025, and kind of that different stuff. Just kind of got to do it. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my future videos, and I hope you check out my old ones. Ciao.